Very good morning, all the students of 7th standard. We have completed our 7th lessons and 8th one we have started an ideal ruler. This lesson was going on. In this lessons we have completed the organization skill point number means on the page number 33, and how he organized his associates companion that we have seen. Today we will see the next one point, caring for the rare, how he cared his subjects, how he cared the people, those who were in his kingdom, in his empire, in the Swaraj, common people's care, how he do that we will see. So while establishing the Swaraj, Maharaj had to constantly struggle against his enemies. When he was trying to establish the Swaraj at that time, Shivaji Maharaj, he had to struggle, he had to fight against the enemy. Constantly he had to fight against them. Continuously there was a war, a struggle against the Swaraj enemy there. Number of the enemies were there at that time. So he had to struggle against them, he had to fight against them in a constant way. His subjects suffered due to enemy invasion. And what happened there? Shivaji Maharaj, what are the subjects were there? That his subjects were also constantly, he suffered his subjects against the enemy's invasion, against the enemy's attack on Maharashtra. At such times, Maharaj used to take utmost care to protect the right. Whenever the enemy's invasion is there, whenever the enemy's attack is there on the Maharashtra, in Swaraj there, at that time, Shivaji Maharaj always he took a great care of his peoples, of the rare common people from his kingdom or from his state. At the time of Shahistar Khan's campaign, Maharaj warned to Deshmukh of Rohida Valley not to fail in his duty toward the rear. When the Shahistar Khan he marched on the Pune there, at the time of Shahistar Khan's campaign there, Shivaji Maharaj he warned to the Deshmukh of the Rohida Valley that he should not be fail in his responsibility or in his subject, that he should look after the people's welfare, people's life there, their protection there toward the riots. His main responsibility is there to protection of his people there. He told Deshmukhs to visit every village and ship people to the safe place down the ghat. Also, he told to the Deshmukhs also there to go and visit to each and every villages and inform and make a proper arrangement of the people's safety there. Make a proper arrangement of the people. They should be safe down to the into the ghat region or the area. It was his responsibility. They discussed with the Deshmukh of the Rohila Valley there. He strictly told him not to delay even for a moment. Also, he strictly ordered to the Deshmukh of the Rohila there not to be delay in his activity, not to be late in his work for a moment also. He further warned to the Deshmukh of the Rohidas there that if he did not thus take care of the peoples, the Mughal army would take the peoples prisoners, and then it would be seen as Deshmukh doing there. And if you fail to do this, if you fail to work, if you fail to implement these actions, and if you are late, and in these situations, if the Mughal army, if they attack on our territories, and if they arrested our Indian, means if they arrested our Maharashtrian peoples, if they arrested our people, then they will make them prisoner, and it will be considered, it will feel that that sin, it will become on yours only head, that it will be considered or feel that Deshmukh only did all this, because after all it is your responsibility to protect the people's life. So like in this Shivaji Maharaj instructed to the Deshmukh of Rohida there. Maharaj also saw to it that the soldier did not in any way cause any harm to the peoples or to the rest. Along with that, Shivaji Maharaj he look after that. Personally, he look after those who are the soldiers in his army in the Swaraj. They should not also harm to any innocent rayat or the peoples there. This also okay. He look after this situation there. Personally, he took take care that even at the time of battlefield, or if the enemies if they invaded on the enemy's territory, there also his people, his soldiers not harm to any innocent peoples. This actually Shivaji Maharaj, he look after all these things there. So we can understand by this how he care for the peoples. Yesterday we took, no? So tomorrow. Next, policy regarding the enemy there. What kind of policy regarding the army there? What kind of policy Shivaji Maharaj used in his army? Maharaj maintained a strict discipline in the army. Shivaji Maharaj, he maintained strict discipline in his army. That his armies were totally trained, and there was a lot of discipline in the army of Shivaji Maharaj. There, they were specially trained. All the soldiers were loyal, trusted toward the Shivaji Maharaj, and more discipline was there in them. He was particular about paying the salaries of the army in time. And Shivaji Maharaj, he was always he was very particular. He was keen. He always look after that. Whatever the salaries there of his soldiers, that salary he paid them on a proper time. No delay, no late in their salary. Up to date, he was paying them. He was particular about paying the salaries of the army in a time. He made arrangement to pay the salaries of the soldiers in cash, and also along with that, he made a proper arrangement in his kingdom, in the Swaraj, that those were the soldiers in his army, all this their army's salary, it will be paid in a cash only. Many of the ruler were at the time, instead of that paying the salaries of the soldiers, they granted them some of the land or the area. But Shivaji Maharaj, he did not use this method. Instead of granting them land, he started to pay their salary in cash, and that also he was giving a handsome amount of money for them, or salary he was giving, so they should not be mixed in any other activity or in the corruption. There was systems, means in a various kingdom in a medieval India and elsewhere, there was a system of making payment to soldiers in the form of jagir. What kind of system was there at that time? In a various part of our country, or in another kingdom also, rulers also, they were making their salaries of the soldiers in the form of jagir. They were granting some of the land or the region or the area for them to govern or to look after that as a salary of that persons. But this system was not adopted by Shivaji Maharaj. Shivaji Maharaj set this practice aside, that he did not use this method as a practice. He kept aside. There was a strict order to the army that in any valuable collected during the campaigns in the enemy's territory were to be deposited with the government. Strict informations or the orders were given in his armies, in Shivaji Maharaj's army there, at the time of enemy's actions or the campaign there. If they invaded on the enemy's territory, and whatever the valuable things they got, they captured in their campaign, that valuable things would be deposited into the government treasury. That they should be surrendered, they should be they should deposit into the government, they should not keep themselves. These strict instructions or the orders were given in his army, that they should be deposited into the government, that soldiers were honored for their bravery in a campaign. That along with that, Shivaji Maharaj, what he did, that he honored the soldiers, those who fought bravely during the campaign, that them he honored, especially he honored for them with the different prizes, award, and with money there. So he encouraged that if we start to do this, so they will not fall into the another bad activity there. So he honored them for their activities, for their work there. He looked after the maintenance of the families of the soldiers who died in the battle, and also he looked after that people's or the soldiers' family there. If one soldier from his army, if he passed away, if he died during the battlefield, he looked after their family's welfare also there. He did not neglect his responsibility. He took the responsibility of their family's life also there, to their children, their wife. So in this way, he was a great ruler or an ideal ruler there. He took care of the wounded soldiers, and those who were wounded, for their took proper care. He provided them the proper medicine facility for them, and make an availability of they can make take a proper rest and to be cured out. He treated well the enemy soldiers who had surrendered themselves or who had been captured. Along with that, in the invention that those where the enemy soldiers fell in their hand, those who surrendered to them also he gave the proper treatments, and to many of the soldiers he returned them to their ruler or to the kings. Means enemies armies there or enemy soldiers, if they fell in the hand of them, then he did not give the brutal bad treatment, he gave the good treatment for them. So in this way we can see his good qualities or activities of the Shivaji Maharaj. Okay, so today we'll stop here. When it will come then we will see the next one. Bye.